sauce was in the pot. It was on the stove. But it, had to be watched and it had to be stirred. But the thing is, we were at my house. It was back in '76. Now, the problem was that we were supposed to screen a rough cut of The Last Waltz, film of mine, at MGM Studios that night. And the whole group of us, everybody wanted to go see that rough cut and see the film, come back and have dinner. But Francis had already started the sauce. And it's going to be like 3 hours of nobody watching the sauce because the sauce has to be stirred while you're away. So what to do? Well, Francis had this idea. He took my RCA 16mm projector, which, by the way, is very rare. I was very nervous. He took it, put it on a stand, placed it against the stove so it wouldn't catch fire. He took the wooden spoon that you stir the sauce with, and he put it onto the take-up arm. But he bound it onto the take-up arm of the projector. He now places the spoon in the sauce over a very, very low flame. He turns on the projector, and the rotation of the take-up spool stirs the sauce. So at this point, we all felt, okay, this is going to be fine. We'll go see the film. Well, we did. We come back 3 hours later. The sauce was perfect. The pasta was great. You see, I always think what Francis did that night was heroic. It was undaunted, inventive. It was the essence of creativity. Then, of course, there were other films. Now, the thing about Francis is that nothing stands in the way of his creativity. That sauce has got to be great, and that film has got to be great. Since we first met in 1970 in Sorrento, Francis has, guided me, advised me, inspired me in the Coppola house with Ellie and Francis in San Francisco in that wonderful time that was open to so many hungry, crazy, budding filmmakers. I've always imagined that if Francis had been around in the late 19th century, if he'd stumbled into this new invention, this new art form of making movies, whether it was in Fort Lee or Los Angeles, those pioneers of cinema, Griffith, DeMille, Ince, Guy Blaché, Fairbanks, Pickford, Chaplin, he would have been in that group. The visionaries who invented the storytelling of the moving image, because at that time, it didn't exist. They had to make it up as they went along. They invented. But what he does is he reinvents because he has the same spirit and vision that they had. He's up there with them. And constantly, time and time again, film after film and decade after decade, he reinvents, always expanding into new territory. Truly, Francis is one of the giants of our art form. There's no other way to say it. He tried to lift up our entire industry, all the time remaining very true to his artistic vision, constantly fresh and visionary. The Kennedy Center honor is bestowed upon people who do just that. The trailblazers, whose brilliance has changed the art form in our entire culture. And that's why tonight we honor Francis Ford Coppola.